I want to ask you a fundamental question right now, Mr. Chaudhary. And this question stems from a fact check that I've done of the Chief Minister's own response. No doubt you might have seen the Chief Minister's tweet. It's an elaborate tweet. There are several paragraphs. I remember in the last tweet that I had made some days back, you got very upset. You called for my arrest or something like that. And it really did create a problem for me, though it was complete misinformation. So this time I have decided to dig deeper and look at the Congress's claim. The Congress says that the Common Pool Fund has been utilized only for the religious purposes of Hindu institutions since the Act came into force in 2003. Fair enough. I don't have the facts right now. I'm not in government. I don't have the accounts, the books to say otherwise. But I find it very strange that clause 19(1) of the HR and CE Act, and you might have seen that clause. It says, and I'll put it back up for you on air so you can have a look at it. It says, the grant of aid to any other religious institution which is poor or in needy circumstances can be made. The Commissioner shall administer the Common Pool Fund subject to the conditions herein stated and for the following purposes, namely, the grant of aid to any other religious institution which is poor or in needy circumstances. Now, you amended one or two clauses of this particular act, but not this one. Why, sir? Why keep this loophole open?
Rahul, I'm actually, I can't understand the basic logic of the debate tonight, whether it is about the control of the temples by the government, or is it the disbursement of the funds collected from the temples to other religious institutions? What is the exact dispute all about? Because
should I explain to you? There are two aspects of this. There are two aspects.
I understood.
No, one is it secular to control the religious places of only one denomination? Point one. We can debate that. But
can I go
a more focused question, sir. Because this is what is being raised, that this 10% tax on temples is like an Aurangzeb jizya. Therefore, I'm asking you, the CM says, no, this is for the common, you see, we can raise resources for the Common Pool Fund, and that fund is always used. And he cites the law. The law, clause 1, clause 9.1, A says that this is not quite the case, that the law allows the government actually to grant aid to any other religious institution, any other. So why am I going to believe Mr. Siddaramaiah when he says, trust me, this money will only be used for the Hindus?
Well, the highest executive of Karnataka has promised you on Twitter, it's all there in the public domain. And if there has been any diversion of funds, there was a BJP government prior to this Congress government, they could have as well come out with the facts in the future. But the question does not stop here. Okay. Now, when you put me a question on whether this fund should be used by the government, whether to tax the Hindu temples. Now, do you understand what is the condition of taxing other religious places? The Waqf Act clearly states that any religious institution whose income is more than 5,000 rupees will be taxed 7% of their total annual income. Please fact check it.
Second, but the Waqf doesn't give money to the state.
No, wait. 7%,
no, that is the fundamental question. Why?
No,
this
who
is
ridiculous. Who is getting it?
No, 1 second. Ridiculous. The Waqf gets it. The Waqf gets it. The Waqf can do what it wants to do with it.
No. That is not the fact. You please fact check yourself.
No, 1 second. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, does the state take money from the Waqf? I'm asking you a simple question. Yes,
no. Who administers who controls the
I'm
Waqf
asking
board?
you. No, I'm asking you, sir. Does the state collect money? Does the state? No. 1 second, please. I'm asking you a pointed question. Does the state, let's say in Delhi, does the Kejriwal government take money from the Waqf board?
Rahul, you tell me
yes or no? Yes or no?
It's not so simplistic that
viewers, it is very simplistic. It is very simplistic because the HR and CE Act and the Chief Minister himself is saying it. He is admitting that money will be taken from the Hindu temples. Now, whether it is spent on Hindu temples or wherever they want to spend it. 1 second. One second, sir, this is not fair.
Let me explain my point. Otherwise, you can.
Yeah, you can explain your point, sir. You can twist the facts. It's okay.
No, I am not twisting the facts.
Right.
Now come to the basic point. Smriti Irani, the Honorable Minister of the Minority Development Affairs, what did she do from last year? She has started to tax the annual Hajj pilgrimage at 20% tax collected at source. There is a 5% GST on the Hajj pilgrims. So it's not that the Hindus are only being taxed. Now here what happened was that 10 lakh rupees.
Just 1 second, BJP, 1 second, Mr. 1 second. 1 second, I'll come to you.
Check me.
No, 1 second. Kamru Chaudhary, you're not understanding the fundamental point I'm making. Whether the Hindus are taxed or the Muslims are taxed, it doesn't matter to me. Why is the state in the business of religion? Why isn't the Karnataka government passing a law that says we will no longer control temples? Simple. If it is secular.
You must go into the context, Rahul.
What
why
context?
First and foremost, why did this 1997 Act come into being? Because there are so much widespread corruption in the temple management.
There is no corruption in Waqf management. There is no corruption in Christian church management.
We are fighting because the Waqf board.
So only the Hindus need to be checked by the state.
Even the Muslims of India are wanting the Waqf board to be free of government control.
Please, viewers, this is where the problem is. You can't be throwing this clangor. It's not as if there is no, hang on, we are talking about a secular country, viewers. Look at the Western example. Nowhere in the world. Am I to believe that there are no corrupt denominations in the West? That there are no corrupt management boards of churches in the West? But does any of their governments treat Christians with such contempt that we don't trust you, so we'll manage you? And what does it do, viewers, for the basic tenet of secularism that the Congress wears on its head like a crown? It says we are the most secular. We believe. Ask Nehru. He said very clearly that the Indian government should not be building the Somnath temple. Why? Because we are secular. Here, viewers, Nehru's proteges in government who say we swear by Nehruvian secularism are continuing to manage temples. Why, viewers? In power you say something, in 2024 you say something, in 1947 you say something else. Tell me, Kamru Chaudhary, did not Mr. Nehru say the state has no business being in religion? Yes or no? Did he say it or not? Or was there a context there also?
In fact, that we should be walking the talk right now.
We should be walking. Now let's, Narendra Modi should walk the talk. Why can't Karnataka walk the talk? It should pass a bill. It's a state legislation.
The government that is
he just passed a bill. It should pass a bill to say we don't want to manage temples.
Rahul, dig deep into the bill, and this bill should be an ideal bill, endowment bill.
Now let's dig deep into the bill. Let me bring in on this question of a secular state managing religious affairs. Whether it is of Hindus, Muslims, I don't care. Rashmi Samant, don't you think there's a hypocrisy? The so-called guardians of secularism here are sitting and imposing taxes and tightening laws which deal with the regulation of someone's place of religion?
Absolutely, Rahul. I come from the temple town of India, Udupi, and we have temples here at every 500 meters. And it's disheartening to see this level of taxation that happens only with respect to temples. And as long as Section 9 of that bill remains that you discussed about before the debate started, all of these assurances are just political speak. What is to stop them from reallocation of these funds, collected under the guise of taxes to other religious institutions? Nothing. It is just political speak. And we know better than others that to never, trust the words of a politician. So I think it's absolutely, foolish to just believe just because Chief Minister Siddaramaiah says that the funds will not be used for other, religious institutions. If he means it, then the amendment should have also nullified Section 9 of the original act, which, presents a loophole to reallocate all of these funds. Secondly, I think when a devotee gives money to a particular temple, it is with the belief that that money will be used for the deity that presides over that land. So there is a definite spiritual connection to the act of donation. So it is, in fact, interference